Well, morning, everyone. Thank you for having me today at PSC Live. My name is Georgina Maratheftis, and I'm Head of Local Public Services at TechUK. And today I want to present a vision of what the Council of the Future looks like and what that means for the future of the supplier and buyer relationship. But firstly, I'll just give you a quick overview of TechUK and who we are. If you can navigate to the next slide, please. Thank you. So for those that don't know, TechUK are the trade body for the tech industry. We have just over 850 members, and they represent the breadth and depth of industry. So everything from your cyber to cloud providers and everything in between. And 2/3 of our members are SMEs, and they all serve a mixture of markets as well. So I guess our vision is how can we champion technology's role in preparing and empowering the UK for what comes next and delivering a better future for people, society, the economy and planet. Next slide, please. I think it's important to note, even though we have tech in our name, for us, it's not about tech for tech's sake, but it's about how we work with suppliers, public sector in this case, public, government and stakeholders to really understand how technology can help enable, improve outcomes. So the start is what's the outcome, and then the technology is the enabler. So what we are looking at in this next year is how technology can improve outcomes and empower people, strengthen our society, drive the economy and protect the planet. Next slide, please. And in my day-to-day, I work with our members that are active or looking to break into the local government market. So helping them navigate that. There can be this perception around local government that it's complex, who's the right person to talk to. It can be a challenge, but personally, I might be biased, but I think it's a fantastic market with lots of innovations, but also one where technology can really make a difference to people's lives. So that's why we champion and want to showcase the innovations happening and encouraging new suppliers and new entrants into local government. And we work alongside our members and local government to most importantly understand how can we better work together to create the conditions for meaningful transformation that improve outcomes for our people and places. So looking at everything from fixing the plumbing, the really important stuff like data and standards, making sure that systems are interoperable, to maybe the more exciting stuff on what the art of the possible is, understanding what innovations and technologies are out there to help create places where citizens want to live, thrive, work and feel safe. Next slide, please. So that was just a quick intro to TechUK, and I'll later on in the presentation, I'll talk a bit more about what that engagement looks like and how what our work fits into what I'll now be sharing, this vision of the Council of the Future. So this vision was crowdsourced with our members, but also with the local authorities, and we put this together pre-pandemic. But I think it still stands, and if anything, I think it's coming to fruition this last year. So the Council of the Future is one that is more connected and integrated with citizens, communities and businesses reaping the benefits, using digital to reimagine service delivery that is user-centric and meets users' needs. It's a holistic vision of the citizen and place, with communities motivated to come together with shared values and skills and to drive a better quality of life for all. Citizens are at the heart of problem solving and decision making to deliver better outcomes. Next slide, please. And here you can really see how data plays that golden thread and that pivotal role in bringing the vision of the Council of the Future to life. So data is at that heart of decision making and enabling early interventions to manage demand better. And I think this last year, we have seen it come to life. If you take the example of the community hubs, how data and digital was used to mobilize volunteers, signpost them to those that needed that support, and also councils, community groups, voluntary groups, academia, all those across the place working together to serve the citizen. So focusing on that outcome. So next slide, please. So that brings me to ask, so is the future the council or the place? So maybe that makes it redundant. Well, I've just presented the council of the future, but what we've seen has been the councils with the right digital infrastructure in place have been able to lever their powers to be able to act as that platform across the place to bring others together. And I think that's what we're seeing as the evolution of local government. You know, this last year has seen, you know, bring to fore the fantastic work and effort that local government do to serve our communities. And they've been at the forefront of mitigating the impact of the pandemic onto our communities. But I think what's also been great to see is that real collaboration across the place. And I know place-based working isn't nothing new, it's been around for a while, but I think the difference is last year we saw place-led innovation actually come to life. So just something to think about when we look at the future of local government and the role that digital can play, not just in service delivery, but that shift from service to outcome focused and using digital to bring people together, to be able to collaborate, share data safely and securely, to put that focus around the citizen, coming together around a common challenge as opposed to working in those traditional silos. Next slide, please. And here is just some of the opportunities where data as that golden thread can bring that to life. So everything from powering our places to driving innovation and managing demand. I think managing demand we touched on with the community hubs, and here is an example of Ada and Worthing, who, you know, within 48 hours were able, and I know many other councils were able to spin up a new service to support the residents, those shielding and the vulnerable. And they were able to do that so quickly because they had that right digital infrastructure in place. And also when we talk about places, data-powered places, these last few years we have seen Office of Data Analytics across regions where brings together police, local government, health, social care data in one place to enable that place-based working. Be interesting to see what the results of those Office for Data Analytics have been. They've often been cited as a great model. So, you know, ones to look out for and potentially replicate. But I also wanted to flag the importance as well of open data in helping to stimulate the local economy. So now as our focus shifts from response to recovery, the role open data can play. So Data Mill North is a great example of a platform opening up open data to the community and enabling innovators, entrepreneurs, SMEs to solve local issues and put solutions to local issues there. So a great opportunity for the community to be mobilised and come up with local solutions. Next slide, please. So we've spoken a lot about lots of great stuff in terms of innovation this last year, as well as technologies. But I think a key to that being a reality is the culture that has been in place. We've seen a move from that culture of risk aversion to one of agile working at place, testing new ideas. And it's that mindset that needs to stay, because implementing the technology is the easy bit, but it's making sure that everyone feels empowered to come up and put these innovations and technologies in place. So that's why I put this challenge. Let's not revert back. Let's think about this last year, what's worked well, but more what can be done. I think this last year has shown actually what councils could have done. So the pandemic has definitely catapulted that digital transformation. I'm sure you've all seen the meme, what's driven transformation in your organisation? Is it the CEO? Is it the Chief Digital Officer? Or is it COVID? It's often referenced as COVID. And the picture on the right has been pretty much all of us this last year working from home, but also what's been great as well is the virtual council cabinet meetings, which I hope stay. Obviously, the government did not extend the emergency legislation for that, but there's a call for evidence. And I believe the Secretary of State for Local Government and Housing this morning stated that they are kind of backing the court application, that they do want to see that virtual and remote council meetings staying. It's enabled so many more people to engage in local democracy. So if you can, do respond to that call for evidence. But I think the biggest challenge will be making hybrid working a success. And I think with those council meetings, it's a real opportunity for local government to take the lead. And there's also so many other emerging technologies that offer such great opportunity for councils. Obviously, it's first starting with the problem, but small things like virtual reality. A few years ago, Essex Council launched the Challenge Dementia Prize, where they were looking at how technology can help improve the lives and quality of those living with dementia. And the winners were a virtual reality company, but just like the picture, the virtual reality was a cardboard box, a smartphone, and it played a film of historical, iconic moments. Those watching it, it triggered happy, positive memories for them, and it enabled those conversations. So it's also about, how technology can bring us closer and keep us connected to each other. Again, something we've seen last year. And virtual reality, especially within the social care setting, has so much potential in helping creating empathy and understanding how others, live, particularly through training or intelligent automation and streamlining processes. So technology is never about displacing people. It's about complementing and freeing up people's time to really focus on those complex issues and enabling that face-to-face, obviously when it's safe, or at a social distance. Next slide, please. I think just as we close, I just want to focus on what that future buyer-supplier relationship looks like. I think one word that I've used quite a bit in this talk is collaboration, and I hope that stays for those across the place, but not just with local government, community groups and academia, but also with suppliers. They play a critical role in this too. So it's making sure as well that, you're engaging with them early to test ideas, also making sure that before you even get to a procurement, that you are actually procuring for the right thing and that the solution that you procure actually meets a need and not just the solution that you think. So engage, come speak to TechUK. We host free workshops where we work with local authorities on what the art of the possible is. Come with your challenges. We can interrogate that. You're able to access the latest innovation. So again, when you do put that tender out, and you're able to brief the market early, you're able to get a mixture, a good diverse of responses, and not just from incumbent or the traditional suppliers in that. And then you're able to create a level playing field. And also by engaging early, it's shifting that relationship as well between. And then for suppliers to not be just a sales partner, but a value added partner. With the Social Value Act, suppliers have a great role to play in helping locally reduce local carbon, for example. So there's so much potential there. And at the same time, those conversations, you're able to engage with